Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Tuesday, Thanksgiving holiday eve, which is a fantastic holiday for everyone to participate in because all politically divergent and divisive ideas about it aside, it is a gratitude holiday and something that's very healthy for everyone. Robert, thank you so much right out of the gate for that. I appreciate it so very much. And why in the animal husbandry is my chat not open on the other? All right, I guess I don't know, but I can see it over here, so that's all right. Okay, not a problem. Hello. Oh, happy birthday, Patooey. That's awesome. Welcome everybody from wherever you are, Megaworldwide. We're all over the place. We just simply are. And today's a cautionary tale, I presume, because tonight, if you're not aware, besides the fact that I am catching a plane at 1 a.m., technically Wednesday morning, but you understand. So we don't want to fall down into the same depressing hole that our dear friends Diamond and Silk found themselves in. They you don't want to confuse that at all. Yeah, so we're fine. It's I'm technically flying out Wednesday morning, but it's tonight, and I will be I have to change planes. I think in Dallas on my first flight of many this holiday weekend, and in doing so, I will be a raggedy mess. Probably by the time I'm seeing my relatives tomorrow afternoon, sometime after a long period of traveling and flying places and picking some people up and continuing on forward and all that kind of stuff. So I will say a prayer for me. Say a prayer of gratitude and protection for yours truly as I venture into this thing. And we will at some point address some of the recent unpleasantness that is kind of ongoing in terms of some other things when I feel like people are in a position to have a conversation about it, and not before. Also, I am still wearing my workout shirt because I went to the gym and then I went to the other gym. So I was at the gym all day. So I just got back, and you'll have to forgive me. I was gonna change, but I figure you can't smell me. I'm fine, and I don't actually stink. I feel I'm pretty good about that. So it was a sort of a dry sweat workout, as it were. Anyways, so lots to talk about today. Not the least of which is tonight was supposed to be the launch, or no, tomorrow night is supposed to be the launch of Michael and Dell's three-day Derpathon about the Derp state, and he was going to 96 hours of live streaming, no stops, basically just to ruin everyone's Thanksgiving. And apparently there may be a minor snag. I'm sorry to. Now, I wasn't planning on covering this thing because I have a life and a child and loved ones and a joyous, optimistic view of life, and Black Friday is coming up, so I've got to make lists of things that people want, and then of course there's Cyber Monday and Giving Tuesday and Hump Days with Hal, which I think is a good follow-up, quite frankly, and might exhaust you. But the Derp State is doing they're derpity derping, and it's terrible. It's nothing short of horrific. Now when we when we go to this. Starts off with a dark screen. Now I know it's just ominous. Look at this. I'm afraid. You're afraid. We're all afraid. And the title of this one is Lindell, Suspicious Activity Happening with AGs. Also, the same title below. 1,000 rumbles on this thing, kids. This is getting the kick up. This is getting the moolah. This is high quality programming. So we shall see what we shall see. I'm nervous. You're nervous. It's something suspicious. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K, my friend.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to...
Oh, God. Oh, it's happy. Oh, goodness. Oh, hi, everybody. Oh, hello. Hello. I'm sorry. I should probably, how do I say the, nope, that's not it. It's, this one. Hello. Oh, we both got we've got a lopsided mustache there. Yeah. Go ahead and tell them. It's not gonna, come on. Don't, just say it. Say whatever's worrying you. Yeah? Okay.
announce the 96-hour live stream event on frankspeech.com. This is going to be historic. We're going to call it the Thanksathon. It's going to go from 12 a.m.
I think that's a mistake. I'm going to have to tell you right now. I think that should be called the Frankathon. For Frank's speech there, you betcha, for sure. Yeah. Call it the Frank Thank-a-Frankathon. The Frankfurtathon. That's a fantastic. Come on now.
Thanksgiving morning to midnight on Sunday, November 28th.
Do I have to stay on the whole time? Because I got to go out and do an inventory of the darn cars. And I can't be out there the whole time. Your friend there doesn't talk very much. So, yeah, we'll be there for a good portion of the Tankathon.
We're going to unpack the historic U.S. Supreme Court complaint on the 2020 election. And we're also going to be taking apart the biggest crime in history.
D.B. Cooper. Yeah, find out where that fella went, eh? Or perhaps if you could, look into what in the world is a credit default swap. It sounds like 3-card Monty to me, I'm not gonna lie.
2020 election. We'll be posting the schedule here on frankspeech.com, so keep checking back. This is going to be 96 hours of thanks, hope, and information that we're all going to need to get our country.
Well, you know, thanks and hope. I mean, obviously, while we're upset about the fact that we lost the country, you know, last year, and it's all, you know, it's depressing. Not a lot to give thanks about. I mean, if you're a Biden fan, obviously, you're jumping through your goddamn shirt. But no.
Back. You can all do your part right now and let everyone you know to go to frankspeech.com.
Oh, I'm telling them. Don't. Well, not that exactly. I'm telling them to go to fwank.com, FWANQ.com, and subscribe there to help me out with my show. You know, because nobody's going to watch your stuff if they don't watch my stuff, because I'm the only person dumb enough to carry your stuff. But I'm glad to do it. By the way, can I borrow your razor? I think I missed a spot.
And watch this 96-hour Thanksathon.
96 hours. To paraphrase a great American, I don't even want to do anything that feels good for 96 hours.
And God bless.
Oh, it's so good that he had him on. Oh, dear Lord. This isn't an after picture, is it? Mike Pillow's not looking very well. Look at that. And he's got a little sign up there with his own quote on it. Yeah, it says, there are no conspiracies, but there are no coincidences. Which is not only logically, philosophically, and mathematically incorrect, it draws too much attention to the word no. But that doesn't matter.
Okay, Mike Lindell joins us now. Mike,
I know my mustache is lopsided. Cut me some slack. Here, would you rather, hold on, something like this? Is that better? At least it's even. Now I look like donut operator, don't I? Tell you what, we'll split the difference. We'll split the difference between Mike Lindell and what I would assume is Steve Bannon's back hair. How about that? Does that work for you? Good Lord. I'm just saying, ladies, it's something to tug on. Don't be afraid. Just listen here. Come on. It's this. I'd love to stick around, but I've got some pillaging to do later in the afternoon. You got to schedule these things. Villages won't pillage themselves. This is okay. All right, back to abnormal.
My guys are over at the Supreme Court waiting for the drop off. Where do we stand? I know you're flying around. Every time I talk to you, you're in a different.
Yeah, they're your guys are. They're going to be at the Supreme Court. How long are they going to be there? Because I mean, I hope they like sticking their thumb up their own ass, because that's pretty much the best. Oh, Regina, thank you so much. That's lovely. Look at that. And Robert, bless you for the Venmos. I'm still talking with a Canadian / Minnesota accent.
State talking to officials. Can you give us an update of where do we stand? You've got the 96 hour that starts, I think, Wednesday night, goes all the way through the weekend. You're going to unpack the complaint, I think, on Thanksgiving Day itself at noon Eastern.
Yeah, it's a great time for it. Yeah, on Thanksgiving Day, while families are gathering and trying to bond as human beings. Never has there been a better time to unpack a bullshit, 6-time tried, stupid argument of using evidence you pulled out of your rectum and just try to wreck everyone's fucking holiday by getting the one family lunatic to put, instead of putting down his goddamn device, joining the family for once and trying to balance this shit out. You're gonna have everybody there's gonna be Thanksgiving, like one guest per 9 households barricading themselves in a fucking garage.
11 o'clock Central. It'll be right at the end of the War Room Thanksgiving Day special. We got all that. Can you just get people up to date? Because
the War Room Thanksgiving Day special. The War Room Thanksgiving Day. The War Room Thanksgiving Day. These pricks.
A different location 5 times.
You know, it's wait till you see the War Room Christmas special. Nothing celebrates the life of Jesus Christ like the word War Room.
Hey, where do we stand with getting buy-in on this?
Yeah, and I had a quick setup here to give you an update. We're
is that why you have shitty audio and no lights in your chiropractor's lobby again?
Around the last couple of days, it's been very chaotic. If getting at 0 hour, you're getting these HEs.
0 hour. Oh shit! Steve Bannon's military lingo is spreading.
To sign up and get this out there, but we do have a full copy of the complaint with any of the.
Oh, really? You have a full copy of your own complaint? Where'd you find it? eBay? You're supposed to have a copy of your own fucking complaint. It's yours.
Changes that they needed, and we're going to have a great update for you. I'd like to come back on at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. You know what? I really don't have anything right now. I'm kind of talking out of my butthole. So if you could, can I come back later? Because in all seriousness, hold on one second. In all seriousness, I do have, it's the entirety of the complaint is, I mean, honestly speaking, it's a winner. I can see this is gonna go 9-0. There is no question. This is absolutely true. Everything in it, I've read it myself. And so I don't want anybody to think that this is like all the other times. I'm exciting the ladies. I apologize. That's not right.
But this is kind of this is historic. I've seen the complaint. It is epic. Oh, that's all I can say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's got an appendix in the end of it where you can learn to speak Elven. It's downright Tolkien, and it's
epic. I'm very excited. For the changes that they wanted in it. It's their.
Yeah, they wanted some changes, did they? Let me guess. Spell check? Did that come up?
This is the Attorney General's. This is the state's complaint against the U.S. government. So we're working very hard.
Yeah, this looks like dude, you look totally wound up. I can see you're excited. I can see that, everything where I've obviously taken a giant shit on everything you've produced before. I can tell I'm going to have a hard time with this one because obviously you've got total faith in the quality of this endeavor. Who can miss that? I mean, look at how forcefully and clearly you're speaking with an awareness of facts and content. Look at how you know that it's going to play out the way you want it to play out, and that you have no fear whatsoever because not only do you have faith in the facts, but also something about you being religious that also gives you something.
I told people yesterday.
Let me ask, but certainly come on at 5. You have an open invitation always to come on here, particularly on this issue that's so central to the 3 November movement. Remember, this is Mike Lindell's.
The 3 November movement. Yeah, by the way, just in case you don't know, the 3 November movement is every year we on the left and in the liberal circles will eat a giant meal on the 2nd, take a giant shit on the 3rd, and ceremoniously flush the Trump presidency away. It's a true holiday.
Air game as other people go through the ground game.
The air game and the ground game. Is this signal or noise? I forget. Is that a Navy term or?
But here's the thing: is that, and you're going to lay out the complaint itself on Thursday, so people will be able to see that. And of course, that'll lead to many great Thanksgiving dinners for sure late in the afternoon. As now people
nobody's going to watch it.
Have the ability to argue with their favorite uncle or favorite cousin, who maybe is not a Trump supporter. So. But by the way, we know.
Hey, asshole. No, the odd person out in this whole endeavor that might be watching this shit is the cousin or the uncle. The rest of the family is going to be like hugging and eating stuffing. You divisive fuck.
From Richard Barris's polling, there ain't many of them, and there's not a lot that are going to step forward. Only 30% of independents in this nation approve of Joe Biden. That's historic. And by the way, that's in the margin of error. It's somewhere we've said.
Yeah, only 30. It was 13% when you said it yesterday. Now it's 30%. That's weird, Steve.
Day one, we can get that number to the 20, which is historic. 30 is historic, but 20 is mega historic. We're going to get it there.
Yeah.
But is it, do you think that, and I want to call it an artificial deadline because I know you're trying to herd cats, right, with this complaint. But is it the deadline? Is it the deadline itself?
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening. I mean,
just walk us through the process because people are kind of on tenterhooks about how this rolls.
I'm definitely. The date I put in there. Obviously, this is their complaint. I put this in because I wanted to. Yeah. I wanted to put pressure on there to have the complaint, so we could go through it piece by piece. And I put this date on it. Now I got many AGs yesterday. I was on the phone with 4 of them yesterday, and 4. Some of them have so much going on right now that last Friday they gave them till today. To fighting these mandates where kids had to take the vaccine. And that was in many states out there. That was very.
So they're, I see. So they're busy doing AG stuff. I see. So you were talking to them on the phone and they had to go. Nice. Hey there, Shet Pants. How are you? He was on hold with 4 AGs at the same time. And oddly enough, they all had the same, the same hold music. All of them. It was all Lee Greenwood. It was so reassuring.
Public on Friday. You have a lot of things that are happening out there very suspiciously, almost trying to slow these guys down. And but we'll have.
Oh goodness! Well, tell us about that. What's slowing them down? Why would they slow down? And now is not the time to slow down around the holidays.
But, it is kind of like herding cats. You have different ones at different levels. Well, I do have a couple, which I don't want to announce right now, that said straight up, we're not going to do it. And
yeah, don't announce those guys, because people will get the impression that all of them told you that. No. Hold on. This dickhead was on hold with, he was talking to 4. You think the 4 he called that actually took his call were Democrats, for one? These are Republicans. All of them are Republicans that he was talking to. And I guarantee 3 out of 4 of them said, fuck that. And the 4th one was like, dude, I can't, I got real shit to do. I can't, this doesn't happen. No.
It's a shame. And we're going to have a great way for you to reach out to your own state AG. In fact,
yeah, they're called death threats. Jesus Christ.
Steve, I'm going to have that up by 5 o'clock. I'm going to actually have full copy on her. I'm hearing that we'll have a full copy of the complaint, and we'll be allowed to get parts of it out there where you'll have the AGs, your AG right on there.
Fucko, you can publicize any aspect of a complaint you're filing with the goddamn Supreme Court. It's public record. Yeah. Hold on. Hello? Yeah. I'd like to talk to my AG right now. Yeah. Well, not my AG, because my AG isn't. I need to talk. Yeah. Oklahoma. Yeah. Well, he's supposed to be on our side, and he's not. Well, I don't know why he's not. He's just not. Well, I don't know why he's not. He's just not. Well, I'll hold. Son of a, this is just not polite. They put me on hold again. It's the 4th one today. It's terrible. Where at least I know I'm free, and I'm proud to be an American. It's a good hold song, but I don't need to spend all day on this. This is, hello. When it goes, and a lady says, if you'd like to make a call, please, it's a weird accent. I can't understand what she's saying. But if she says that, I'll try another one. It's so stupid.
You can email your own AG because there are states, a couple that are very disturbing, that they gave no reason. We don't want to.
Yeah, I'm. Who thinks? Oh shit! Now I've jumped it and it's Rumble, so I can't jump back a second. Who thinks he says they gave no reason, and he's about to explain that their reason was there's no reason for this.
Right on there where you can email your own AG because there are states, a couple that are very disturbing, that they gave no reason. We don't want a part of this. We don't want to help save our country.
Is that what they said? Is that what you said? This is, honey, no, stop it. The kettle's whistling. I can't hear. This is the 5th one that's told me they don't want to help our country. Yeah, they said it. They said those words in that order. It's shameful. I mean, they were speaking Russian. The numbers he gave me are weird. They bounced through Europe, I think. They don't want to help our country. Get fucked. That's what the Republican AGs of the states that actually took your call said.
They didn't say that outright,
hey,
but
moms.
I mean, what else would it be? I don't get it.
I have a good idea. Mike, if you don't mind. Because they know you're full of shit. That's why. See, they have access to the FBI. And they have assistants and people who work around them that will watch this shit because they get calls about it and have to go home at night and watch this fucking thing and sit there and go, oh shit, all right, he said this and this and this. Probably most of it's not going to come up. We've heard these 2 points before. We'll probably address it if somebody, threatens us or some shit. But that's basically where we are.
Okay, so we'll have you back at 5. We can put the complaint, but on Thursday, because the complaint's quite voluminous and it's going to need lawyers to kind of walk people through, you're going to have a...
Is it now? How about this? I've been pretty good lately at walking people through legal issues. It's amazing. If I do say so my damn self. Why don't you post it on Frank's Speech and I'll walk through people through it. You lazy fuck.
Team to walk people through this on Thursday?
We're going to have a team of lawyers right after your show. We want everybody on the War Room to see everybody out there. You guys need to spread this far and wide.
Mario, I am not flirting with people you don't get to have her, you can't just do requests. I'm not Pris in Blade Runner.
6-hour thanks-a-thon we're having. This is so important that we get eyes on this, everybody. We have to get eyes.
Yeah, it's so important that you said you have a copy, and then you just said you don't, and you said you're gonna walk people through parts of it and not post the fucking thing, even though once it's filed, it would be legally available to anyone because it's on the fucking Supreme Court docket. Release the fucking thing.
This, because if this case, even if if it gets out today or tomorrow or whenever it's filed, nobody, they're not going to talk about it. And Fox, these outlets are not going to talk about it. They're going to chat silence. So we need you, everybody out there, to see.
Yeah, they're gonna go Fox on you. Yeah, they'll tell you to go Fox yourself and tell you to get foxed and say, Fox in hell, what are you doing here?
And we need to get, to push, to just keep pushing them. We will go through it. We'll have a team of lawyers, some that were involved in the writing of it, some that weren't, and go piece by piece. It'll take, I don't know how long it'll take, as long as it takes on Thanksgiving. And we're also on Thanksgiving. Remember, we're going to take everybody back in time from before the 2020 election.
Oh my God, he's John Tinton.
Then you missed something out there. What did I miss? You won't believe it. I've been going through the timeline, Steve, and the things that came, the stuff that came out back then that they didn't want you to hear or see. Yeah. It's just,
they didn't want you to see stuff like the fact that the election was fine. That was the one thing that they were trying to hide from you. They want you to be suspicious of something that's not suspicious.
All I can say is that's the only word I can say is, why wasn't the public made aware of this? Where was...
Hey, fucko, make people aware of it. Post shit. I watched all of this asshole stuff. This is embarrassing. Post it. I don't have time for this shit. I don't need your lawyers to tell me what you think it means or what you want it to be mean. I don't need them trying to talk while Mike Lindell sits across a fucking table from them. And seriously, we've all watched this shit. The lawyer's going to be talking and Mike's going to be going, but this is going to be the day, the greatest day in our country. And Jesus, this is where we all in faith in God and we're all going to, and because the law and because 9-0. And they were like, we just let the lawyers fucking talk. No, but because this is really important. It's epic for our country because these people are trying to take, they're lying about, they won't even show and they won't even, nobody got the $5 million, even though I changed the rules mid-game. But, like, will you just shut the fuck up and let the goddamn lawyers talk? I am letting them talk, but I just want to say a couple of things about it being fucking, this is the truth. And the truth will set you, on your knees or something. I don't remember shit.
Fox, where was our news outlet?
You don't have news outlets, fucko. You don't have news outlets. And if you think you do, if that's your news outlet, it's not a news outlet. Seriously. If you can say, I get my news from blah, 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 You're not getting news.
Mike, we'll see you back here at 5 o'clock. I know you got other meetings with these AGs today.
Yeah, he's got a lot to work on. You can tell by the look in his eyes. This is a man who has some place to be. Oh yeah, he's still hurting from the Fox thing. 1.21 gigawatts. Yeah, so I don't know if there's a 5 o'clock follow-up of this shit. If he's live on there again, I'm going to have to, like, shit, now I got to go. No, I bet it is. I bet there is. Son of a, right? I mean, I've got plenty of other stuff to show, but shit. Just, hold on. More room. Let's see. This is live.
His voice and the.
Hold on. Shut up. Hold on. It's loading on this thing. Freedom, America. Real America's voice, join us, real changing stuff we're talking about. And there's a map where we're gonna bomb San Diego. We're broadcasting from the desert somewhere between Southern California and Nevada. Shit, they're targeting me, guys. We're gonna be in all these places. Oh, this is the stations he's on. Where are all the things? Okay, yeah, and then you can get to, oh, it's David, there he is. David, how you doing, you dipshit? Go, just jump ahead. Shit. Yeah. Let's
Authorities in Southern California want to find those who grabbed and dashed with cash out of an armored truck last Friday. It's first up in our Daily 5.
Do they? I thought we'd legalized all crime in California. I didn't even know there was a rule about this.
Money bags fell out of an armored truck on the I-5 in Carlsbad late last week. Drivers just stopped along the busy highway.
Sorry, money bags fell out of an arm. Oh, well, you know, criminality being what it is. Gary, did you put these? I swear to Jesus, man. How many bags did we have in? Have you seen Groundhog Day? I'm just saying. Remember when he walks up and says, let's fix your bra. And the drops, can I get a roll of quarters? And then they drop them and you just walk up and walk away with the thing. And of course, there's going to be a big pointy plane. Spike Aerospace, it's a good story. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I don't need this shit. Okay, so Lindell, suspicious activity.
As you continue to herd cats, thank you very much for joining us here in the war room.
As you continue to herd cats. Remember, these are Republican AGs. Yeah. Here's hoping everybody makes it safely back from travels. Agreed. Mm-hmm. Theft, no karma. Why would it be karma? You don't even know where the money's coming from or where it's going. I mean, it's insured, but these guys are, the dudes who drive those trucks are transport. They're responsible for that shit. It's not like you're stealing it from the man. I mean, they could be picking money up and bringing it literally so banks have cash on hand for people for the holidays to buy stuff with actual food. Yeah. We're going to print money. Here we go. Hold on.
See you back here at 5 o'clock. I know you got other meetings with these AGs today. So as you continue to herd cats, thank you very much for joining us here in the war room.
Yep. Thanks, Steve. God bless everyone.
So the complaint is quite detailed, and we're going to make sure everybody gets a chance.
Oh, is it? The complaint you haven't seen, that he hasn't seen, that he said he has a copy of, that he doesn't have a copy of, but it's epic. The fuck? Honest to God, people.
Go through the entire thing as Mike Lindell rounds up the AGs. They're going to be at the tip of the spear of this as they file it.
The tip of the spear. fuck off of this tip of the spear and a signal, not noise. And we got air attack and the ground attack, and he's the leader. He's the general in charge of herding cats. Get the fuck out of here. This like Steve Bannon, just like chintzy, semi-militaristic bullshit. Am I the only person that finds that aggravating and like stolen valor bullshit? War Room, what a dick. All right, so we will check in and see if Mike Lindell comes back. I need to see that, but you got to remember, like, when it comes to conspiracy theories and playing, just the tip with the world of Alex Jones, there's a war going on between Glenn Beck and Russell Brand, and the only reason Glenn Beck is ahead is because he's been at it longer. But if you'll notice, this is Glenn's show. Remember, folks, this is about America, not him. Remember, everybody has a giant wall with their name on it. It's completely normal and healthy. Yes, am I jealous? Yeah, of course I am. But for fuck's sake, it at least be red. Shit. But this little shit right here. Afghanistan, 80 days, Americans left behind. What Americans? Who? Name them. Like, if you're going to have this fucking graphic up, do a segment. You know how, like, Nicole Wallace on Deadline White House, she'll sometimes talk about people who've been killed in a mass shooting, or people who've died of COVID and the like, and they'll name them service members who've died, that kind of stuff. They'll actually go through them, list, details about their lives, personalize it for the nation, and then tell their name. This fucker's got a little, like, Instagraphic that he throws up. Yeah, so these guys are so fucking lazy. Anyways, how China maliciously released COVID throughout the world. Maliciously. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is not a good look for Trump, but I'm sure that that he'll factor that in. I'm sure that that'll be a part of this. By the way, how many fucking notes do you need? Here's the thing. This is a screen over here. This teleprompter thing. This bit right here. This still his big touch screen. Basically, folks, anything you see in this picture, just Christmas list it. Just for me. You can just pretty much guess. At least I would put it to some good goddamn use.
Chris Stewart. Hi, Chris. How are you, sir?
Oh, that's right. By the way, he's got on a Republican congressperson from Utah, and the title of this is How China Maliciously Released COVID Throughout the World. And this is a Republican congressperson who is going to make the case that China not only knew about COVID and possibly, I guess, created it. We don't know what his angle is going to be, but they maliciously released it. They did it on purpose. It's kind of like stumbling on anthrax and using it as a weapon, right? That's the theory that's going to be put forward here. Now, well, we'll get to this. I have no doubt. I want to hear what their take is first.
Going back, good to be with you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on and talking about Fauci. I don't know if you had a chance to see the special we did last night.
No.
I did not. It turns out, Glenn, they don't broadcast.
Yeah, no, Glenn, he doesn't have internet in Utah. It's a thing. Well, they do have internet in Utah, but it's a very clean state, and they can only because of Mormonism and they have rules. I don't know. Do they even have download speeds? Let's see. Maybe they don't. Let me see if I can find them. No, they've got internet. It's yeah, Utah's got, let's see. I don't know, maybe there's something else. Let's see. No, I don't really need that, Bustle. Thanks very much. Let's see. There's got to be but you know, at least they're trying to stop the internet. So that's good. You know, that's the All right, here we go. Sorry.
Special on the House floor. I think they should.
Were you on the House floor last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the House of Representatives. It's a job that he has to actually do.
So you are pushing through the Fouchy Act. What is it?
Well, I love the acronym. Someone smarter than I did come up with this. Fairness and Accountability Underwriting Chinese Institutions. But it's basically it bans.
It's basically if we had just cut off the security funds we gave to the lab in Wuhan earlier, then the chances of stuff slipping out of this lab and killing a bunch of people would actually been higher. And who cut off the funds? I can't remember.
Funding of gain-of-function research in China, which is clearly important, but it does more than that. It demands accountability for what happens there. It demands.
Yeah, there was. See, I have to. Okay, hold on. This is gonna be. Why do I give myself these giant? Let's see. Sky News. Hold on. Whoops. If I may, let's see. I'm going to scroll this back a little bit. Let's see.
He was having discussions about whether this might have been genetically manipulated. Does that shock you?
Well, he was dealing with them, certainly, and my thing was a little bit different. I just wanted to stop it. Whether it developed one way or the other, I just wanted to stop it.
But it's important to know where it came from. It's extremely important to know how it developed.
Fauci was dealing with them, and I guess they were even making payments for certain kinds of research. And I ended that too. I stopped that. When we found out about that, he was doing that during the Obama years. And when I found out about it, I said, can you imagine that the United States is making payments to a Chinese lab? So just that on its face didn't make sense, but I stopped that.
The Obama administration did hit pause on gain-of-function research, though, and that was lifted under your watch.
I'm sorry. You what now?
On gain-of-function research, though, and that was
Hold on.
Obama administration did hit pause on gain-of-function research, though, and that was lifted under your watch. Why did you allow the gain-of-function research to continue?
Well, I think probably people that worked for me looked at it, and at one point they might have done that, but ultimately what we did was...
I'm sorry. Hi, fuckhead. So can you do me a favor, folks? Yeah, because, I mean, come on. Who has that on call? You're welcome. But also, keep that little chunk in mind while these two morons discuss this topic.
Honesty, and then this should be blazingly obvious. We should restrict government officials and punish government officials who intentionally mislead Congress, and it's pretty clear that's happened. And so, it's just.
Well, yeah, especially the ones who are avoiding subpoenas right now. So that would be the.
To tie these loose ends that, I mean, a 7-year-old could look at the evidence and draw certain conclusions. Everyone.
Well, yeah, I do think that a 7-year-old could look at this moment.
This didn't make sense, but I stopped that.
The Obama administration did hit pause on gain-of-function research, though, and that was lifted under your watch. Why did you allow...
I love the whole, like, just the nodding, because he does... Fuck. You're supposed to be one of Rupert Murdoch's Sky News loves me. He just filled his diaper with soup. That is one of those moments where just Trump is completely just like, that's the only reaction.
For appears apparently Dr. Fauci, who, when you challenge him on some of the stuff, he thinks you're attacking science and
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's almost like people attacking Glenn Beck on being a complete fuckhead, and he's like, "You're attacking conservative ideas." Like, motherfucker, you're not a conservative.
Well, look.
So, but wait a minute. Hang on just a second. How will this help? Because what he did.
I'll tell you. You want to know how it'll help? By not getting passed. Yeah, it's a turd in a punch bowl bill. It's not going anywhere.
Change the definition of gain of function. I mean, if you're the guy in charge, you can change the definition. He granted waivers to Dr. Barrick and Dr. Shi when they stopped the funding. He said, yeah, that's right, except for this research. And then when he couldn't directly fund, he went through EcoHealth. And basically, I think it's more of a money laundering system where they are taking the money from the NIH, they're giving it to Peter Drazek, and then he is taking that.
Excuse me, his name is Peter Balsack, and he's an international criminal.
Money, and he's funding the lab and the research in Wuhan. So Fauci could easily say, well, I wasn't funding that. I was funding this company and what they do with their.
Yes. That's one of the issues when you're dealing with a lot of infectious disease labs and the like. They're going to fund other things themselves. Yes, that's true. Yeah. And?
It's their business.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there will always be, people who find ways around the intent of law or legislation.
Really? Well, I hope they never find out where the steps to the Capitol are.
Fortunately, that's just true. But this will make it harder. But more than that, Glenn, it shines a light on what you've been trying to do for a long time now. It shines a light and exposes the truth, and it exposes the deception, and helps the American people to see that at least some members of Congress see this, and at least some members of Congress are trying to fix it. But Glenn, I remember going back, sitting.
By the way, see what?
Intel committee early in this process.
I guess that this see the allegation that he's making as fact, right? Okay.
And having agencies and other individuals come to us and telling us, yeah, we don't think it came from the lab. And I was so frustrated and angry with him. How can you possibly say that? How could you possibly know that already? And for you already to draw the conclusion that it did not come from the lab when
Well, because they looked at the actual genome of the disease itself.
You could show this to a seventh grader and they'd say, well, the evidence seems to indicate otherwise. Common sense.
Well, a 7-year-old might think that, but a 7-year-old isn't going to be able to know the difference between spliced DNA modification in the genome of a virus and a naturally occurring evolving one that mutates from multiple strains, either in a lab or in an animal. A 7-year-old is not going to fucking know the difference. They just came out of that door. Whoever behind that door made that thing. Hold on. Now hold on. We have to bring in an expert. If I could. I'm here to tell a story. What's that one? That's weird. Hold on. Not the one I normally use, is it? It is, I guess. Oh, here it is. That. Hello. I'm here in case you have any questions about viral genomes.
Seems to indicate otherwise. And it was one of the great deceptions of Dr. Fauci when he scoffed at that and belittled and ridiculed anyone who would even propose it, when we now know that he knew that they were doing this gain-of-function research at the labs, and he was deceptive.
that before, but then stop it.
Presenting that towards the American people, and as I said, ridiculing anyone who would even suggest something he knew that was happening. And the evidence or the behavior of the Chinese is so obvious. Why in the world did the very first thing they do is go in and destroy these samples? Other than they did.
Well, maybe because they're dangerous.
Chris, you have to watch the special last night because I have put together.
No. By the way, if you want me to do this special, I'll do it. He's not gonna watch it. I'll watch
the timeline, and Fauci absolutely knew what was going on. It is so clear that it came from this lab and that Fauci then covered it up. You remember all the Fauci emails that came out and they were all redacted? Well, if you're smart, you just FOIA.
You just pretend. Right?
People who were on the CC list and hope that theirs wasn't redacted or it was redacted in different places. And then you can piece all of the emails together. Well, that's what we did. And when you see, it was in 2 days, Fauci went from a total panic to meeting with a guy from Wellcome, which is from England, a really spooky funder of stuff up until like the 1980s.
Yeah, my God. Yes, spooky funder of stuff until the 80s.
We're still going for eugenics. They disavowed eugenics in the 1980s.
Well, I think that's a good move forward. Was he working there at the time?
And they are the second biggest funder next to the NIH. And they get on the phone right away and say, Fauci's own email, gain of function research. And they start talking about what's going on in China. We have to find out, but it's all off the record. We'll talk about it in person. They bring a meeting together and...
You mean he called all the labs with knowledge of this kind of stuff and had a massive meeting about a pandemic that was gaining steam across the entire world with everyone that he knew and had worked with in infectious disease before? Why would he do such a thing? Why would he call the top organizations who work to mitigate disease on the planet?
They decide what the story is, and the story is this did not come from a lab.
Yeah, is that what the emails say? Hold on. Let's see. It's got to be on here, right? Hold on. Let's see. Blaze. Virus special. Okay. Filter. This week. Blaze. Hold on. TV. There you go. 5 to go. Rand Paul. Deadly negligence. And that's 4 months ago. Okay. When is this? Filters. This week. Come on. Okay. 4 days ago. 2 days ago. Western civilization is in peril. Is that it? That's 6 days ago. They haven't posted it yet? Why do Democrats still ignore risky virus research? This is him on Glenn. That's Rand Paul on him. Is it on Blaze? Hold on. Now I've got to go look for it. Let's see. I'm not subscribing. Do I sign in with the... shit. I'm not going to sign up for this shit. All shows. Glenn. And then that thing. Maybe there's a... Let's see. Wanna fight tyranny? The epic true story. Media cycle. Latest episodes. Media cycle. Think you're stupid. Panic politics. Profit. Sneak peek. Glenn's most dangerous gem. Triggered. Let's go. Ousted border chief tells all. Donovan broke Glenn's ruin. Build back bankrupt. 21 minutes. These are all, let's see, escaping the Taliban. We are still winning. Dividing states of America. King Biden kills the Constitution. Oh, border crisis contained. No, that's not it. I'm This is Glenn's show, so I'm just scrolling. Weaponizing crisis. Oh, look, Giuliani was on there. Could America survive another 9/11? Rudy Giuliani responds, "Not if I'm mayor." And they put all of our resources in the main targets. So, let's see, time to resign. Yeah, that'll happen. Christians are being killed while the West can't abandon Afghan Christians. Stranded at the gates. 48 minutes. Episode 131. Good Lord, man. The amount of bullshit. CRT lies. Oh, God. The Great Reset of energy. Free Britney. Like he gives the Great Reset of food. He's got like chapters on every fucking thing. Every Great Reset thing has its own variation. Oh, look, it's Dave Rubin. The Great Reset of property. Jesus Christ. Where is this thing? Right-wing violence on the rise. Dollar decimation. Some serious clickbait. Comply or die. I think we looked at that one. Where's this fucking documentary? Shit. All right. I call bullshit until I get to see it.
The people that were involved in that were staunchly for the lab theory, say that this is not natural. Well, what do you know? They come out of that meeting and they say, nope, definitely not in a lab. And
yeah, why don't you put that graphic up on the screen, Glenn? Nope, definitely not in the lab. That's how they came out. They were staunchly for it, and then they came away thinking, no, it's not actually lab created. Is that how it read?
Should discredit anyone. The very next day, they begin to discredit anyone who says it came from a lab. And 6 months later, those scientists that said,
well, no, a big bunch of them start debunking the idea that it was created by people, that it was fused together from other viruses, not that it didn't come from a lab. A lot of people were like, it came from Wuhan. We don't know if it came from the lab. It leaked out of the lab. It was in the wet market. Somebody from the wet market was doing tests and brought it to the lab, but it's a big mix and nobody can tell. And the Chinese government isn't saying shit. The difference isn't where it came from materially, as if somebody fucking made it on purpose. And what he's saying is basically the idea that they went and had a conversation. Is this natural or man-made? And it could be natural and still have mutated in the lab. But the idea is that no. If they're saying it didn't, if it's not man-made, they're saying it didn't come from the lab. This is so goofy.
They changed their mind. Guess who got funding? Millions of dollars in funding. Those guys. I mean,
everybody did. They were looking for a solution to the disease. Everybody was given money to research it worldwide.
This is a clear-cut cover-up.
No, it fucking isn't.
And Fauci is at the center of all of it. It's bad.
Glenn, I couldn't agree with you more, and you didn't ask a question in there. So,
well, you didn't ask a question in there.
I'll respond to say I agree with you, and what you're saying is right. If I could make 2 points, if I could.
Yeah.
For those on the left who deify Dr. Fauci, I asked him, why in the world are you doing that to an individual who has admittedly lied to you again and again and again? And the CDC should not.
How the complaint is up on Frank's speech? Excellent. Hold on. That's awesome. Wait, let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Well, hold on. He's live on here. Hold on. Sorry, we'll get back to other bullshit later.
Pressure. Pressured. Yeah, pressured would be the word. And there's a lot of ones that, said if we, it's mostly a time thing, I think, right now. But
by the way, real quality mic work there, Mike Lindell. I'm glad you're giving Brandon all that fucking money to to get you the best gear available.
That are sitting there, and some that absolutely said, we're not going to do it. And these aren't Democrat
Not
ones.
gonna do it.
The ones that said a few of these. So what we have for all of you up there, I'm going to ask you for
What I say, Republicans.
for help today. Go to frankspeech.com. You can do it right after the show here if you want, or you can do it now. Scroll down to Help Save Our Country, and you click on that, and you're going to see the whole Supreme Court case. It's all laid out there, the whole complaint.
There it is.
And you can email. It's real easy. You click it, email your Attorney General. You'll put your state in. You'll be able to.
Oh, hold on. This is the fix2021.com. That's where it takes us.
Hello, everyone. It's finally November 23rd, 2021. What's special about this day? Well, this is the day that the Supreme
Court is what?
Court complaint of the election crimes of 2020 were to be filed. Well,
were to be filed. Were to be.
lawyers have worked hard on this complaint for months to make it the best it
Yes, worked hard on it. I mean, beats the shit out of working smart any day.
be, which, by the way, is posted right here. We have the whole complaint. We have a copy of it. It's awesome. And also, for months now, I've been going around meeting with the states, especially the attorneys general. They're the ones that need to make the decision to sign this complaint or not. Now, things have come up. We had 3 weeks ago, they came out, the mandatory vaccine. They've been fighting that.
Yeah.
A lot of these attorneys general have. Just last Friday, I'll give an example. They came up with that children were going to have to take shots. They were out there. They had to have a briefing in today on the 23rd. So I got calls by
today. They had to. I mean, they could have taken this. Oh, it doesn't have a number yet. Original. I agree. Bill of complaint. Plaintiff, the United States of America. We're fucking suing the country. State of insert your state. Does confusion count, Mike? I'm going to have to bring it. Hold on. I'm going to need to bring in a legal expert to go through this. We can't just, insist that this is going to be just functioning this way. I'm glad to be here. I'm attorney at large. Ficus, call me. Hello. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to walk you through it. And, some people fear things like mumbo jumbo, but not me. Don't you worry, buddy. Let me tell you right now. This is, boy, let's see. Bill of complaint. My complaint is Trump lost. The numero uno. Oh, well, they got a table of contents. This is very professional. I'm going to blow this up a little bit so we can see it. Look at that. Table of exhibits. There's a table of exhibits. Is there a buffet as well? Come on. Okay. Introduction. Everybody skips that. Nature of the action. That was, interestingly enough, that was the name of the sex manual my uncle, daddy, brother's son read before I was born. Nature of the jurisdiction and venue, wherever, honestly. Sovereign immunity does not bar this action. Plaintiff's state lacks an alternative remedy for this action is timely. It sure as shit is, man. It's a year and 18 days after the election. This is good a time as any. Come on. And then electronic votes are inherently vulnerable to hacking and manipulation. Yes, they are. Especially if they're hooked up to the internet and you can get brazers on there. Most people do a Pornhub reference, and I'm going old school. State of Arizona's electoral votes were unlawfully certified and counted. You don't have to tell me. I drove through that state once. I got a worst sunburn of my life. Never try to fix a spare tire with a flat tire with beef jerky. Don't do it. It is not a sufficient patch. Let's see. Scroll through and see. Take a look at this. Georgia's use. Yeah, we don't like Georgia. Michigan, stupid Michigan. Pennsylvania's a bunch of shit. Look at that. Except Pennsylvania. That's a nice area. I like going down there, man. Come on, buddy. State of Wisconsin's electoral. Wisconsin, I don't like that place anymore. Talk about a war on Christmas. Oh, no. Electors cause, due process, guarantee clause, take care clause. Take care. See you later clause. Goodbye, Santa Claus. Good evening. Prayer for relief. The prayer for relief is so good. Table of exhibits. Memo from John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence, views on intelligence community on. Letter from Pamela Carter, David Principal, Deborah Day, and these people. Good Americans. Declaration of Colonel John R. Mills. He's retired, but he's still smart. Declaration of J. Alex Halderman. These are good American 1940 sounding names. Come on. Email Chris Martin. There's a bunch of... Okay, well, let's get to it. Come on, show me. There we go. Can somebody hum the national anthem as I read this? Please do it. We are in uncharted territory as a nation. The November 2020 election was stolen. Well, the way to jump right at it, right out of the gate. Don't diddle around. Say it. Get right to it. Come on. Our country is divided in a manner not seen in over a century. Just last month, 56% of respondents agreed that it's likely that cheating affected the outcome of the 2020 presidential election, a 5% increase since April 2021. Yeah, and you know what? If we've learned anything about the law and science, is that the general populace's view of reality is more important than reality itself. And I'm proud to be an American. All right. The fault for this deepening divide lies directly with the federal and state public officials who not only abdicated their sworn duty to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, but in many cases actively sought to subvert it. Commies! Filthy, under-thieving bastards. The justice of this court can no longer ignore what the public blah, blah, blah. Revelations 16:12, and then I opened the seventh seal, and he said, of rampant lawlessness by officials in states like Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Pennsylvania, collectively the defendant states. Now, some of you may be thinking to yourself, well, shit, this is the same thing we went through last time when the Supreme Court said they don't have standing and told them to fuck off. And you would be right. But that don't mean we can't try again. Thank you, Oliver. Oliver's humming the national anthem while I read this. Oh, look, footnotes. This includes 84% Republican, 32% Democrats, 54% of... it's Rasmussen. That's trustworthy. Don't worry about it. Vote by mail. Most voters think it will cause more cheat. Oh. Wait a minute. Now, I think maybe people watching this might be thinking that something is screwy right here. That the people who they cite in the poll, when he says people think that there was shenanigans in the election, that the poll they cite was after the election. Apparently not. Look, this might, I don't know if people notice this. Vote by mail, most voters think it will cause more cheating. Well, that could be for lots of reasons. That's not that it did cause more cheating or that they don't trust it after their buddy. Shit. That might seem a bit. Oh. Now, hold on a second. it has been proven scientifically that there is a reasonable amount of psychics in this country that may skew any poll Rasmussen does in a pinko commie way. So don't let that bother you that they cite a thing before the election that says about how people feel about mail-in voting versus the election as a whole. And people, you might start to think that 84% of Republicans might think that because they know Democrats are going to vote by mail and they want to vote in person, so they don't want Democrats to vote. You might think that, and you might think that 32% of Democrats and 54% of independents might worry that there might be cheating around that cheating might entail not sending their vote in. You might be pulled into some sort of fairyland bullshit on that, but that's not, don't let them fool you. This is not what's being said. This September, it was revealed that election officials in Maricopa County were caught red-handed destroying election records from November 20 in violation of federal law after court rejected some. Well, look, does anybody out there know, and this might be a trick question, does everything you say in something you file have to be true? I can tell you the answer has 2 letters in it. So got you. And then there's a renowned cybersecurity expert, University of Michigan Professor J. Axel, revealed in Georgia federal court that he had conclusively demonstrated that Dominion voting machines used in at least 16 states can be easily hacked to steal votes. Inexplicably, the district court denied his request to strategically unseal his export report, detailing these says vulnerability for a limited purpose of bringing it to the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency to attempt to fix these issues before the next election. Professor Halsman also testified Georgia Tech, a defendant in that case, refused to even look at the report or meet with him to go over these dangerous security vulnerabilities. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sure, he made them up in his head, but that don't mean you can't warn you. You know what I mean? Because one time I had this dream that I was being attacked by a giant sea monster, and I was fighting it, and I had to bite it right in the neck and kill it in the dream. And then I woke up and I'd peed the bed and ate my pillow. But luckily, I had a coupon code.
Many attorneys general saying, "Hey, can we?"
Yeah, I want to talk to him. Hold on, let's go back here. Hold on. So let's. This is his readout of this thing. By the way, we'll go over these.
We need more time. We need this. We need that. But there's
assholes. They need more time to do legal shit.
A lot of them out there where I believe people got to them, or they're just plain, they're not with us. They're not with the people.
No, they're just not. They're not with the people. They're not with America. They want to destroy this country. Right-wing Republican attorneys general are vicious, America-hating monsters who are siding with Soros or something.
And so this is what I encourage each and every one of you to do. Could you please, there's a form right here. You go down, you can email the Supreme Court complaint right to the AG, the Attorney General in your state.
They don't have it already? They don't have the copy? Why can't I just send them an email going, look at the thing that Mike sent you? Can I do that? I just don't want to eat up, cell phone gigabytes.
It's all set up for you. Go here, send it into them. Send in your message that you want
Yes, send in everything. Send that in. Send in the clowns. Send whatever you got. I'm all in on this, Mike. I'm with you. The people are with you. We're all behind you, 100%. Laughing, but we're behind you. We're covering our mouths and
to be on board. We have all 50.
Why'd you switch angles? Is something bad about to happen? By the way, why do you have an Apple laptop? Isn't big tech against you? Isn't Apple woke or some shit? By the way, nice reflective surface. No one taught you how to do a TV studio? God damn it, why can't I have nowhere near the amount of money these assholes have, and how is my production that much better? Fucking stitching this thing. Yeah, it's John Wayne Gacy gives his seal of approval to this whole thing.
States on here. So it doesn't matter. This isn't about a Democrat or a Republican.
No. It's about Americans versus whatever the fuck you lunatics are doing.
This is about saving our country, everybody. Please help out. Send an email to your Attorney General now.
Yeah, and, send it in now. Yeah, don't forget. Send it in. Do everything you can. Send it in. Tell him, Mike. Tell him. Tell him to send it in. You're just, I mean, nobody, if they don't know, how can they do it? Tell them what to do, Mike. Mike, tell them to send it in so they know what to, and then follow the instructions. I could follow the instructions. Let me tell you what. This is something else. Oh, boy.
You tell everyone you know to watch the 96-hour Thanks-a-thon right here.
Tell everyone you know to watch a 96-hour Thanks-a-thon. 96 hours. Tell everyone you know to watch 96 hours of Mike Lindell talking shit about America starting at midnight tomorrow night. Not during the day, not midday, not through the weekend, starting at noon to noon, where people can kind of brush their teeth and kind of get ready for the day, do a couple of errands, get back in time to do it. No, right as you're about to fucking pass out, welcome to a hell night.
FrankSpeech.com. We're gonna unpack this.
You are not going to unpack anything.
Case, this whole Supreme Court complaint with lawyers that both wrote it, helped write it, and one's opinion over here that haven't seen it yet or that went through it for the first time and give their opinion on it. It is awesome. Yeah. It is going to be an epic 4 days of it. It's historical.
4 days.
We are also going to
4 days. 4 days. 4 days. 4 days. Fuck you, 4 days.
Go back in time to what happened to our country? How did we get here? Where are we at? And where are we going?
Well, apparently, you're in what? St. Louis and Kansas City? Where the fuck is that? Anybody know what this one is? I think it's Kansas City, isn't it? Or is it just one picture? Oh, it's the same picture. It is St. Louis, but it's on two different screens. So it's sliced down the middle and... Why are you in St. Louis? What? Did you just leave that up? What?
We have a pathway forward that's so awesome, everybody. That'll be airing on Sunday. And then on Thanksgiving...
Why wouldn't you... Wait. Why the fuck wouldn't you just air it on day one? This is the path forward. If you need to look at the argument, it's posted on the site and people will be talking about it. But this is what you need to do. God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's 4 days of Black Friday for Mike Pillow. That's what the fuck this is. This is corralling people into buying pillows and blankets and all kinds of shit as if it's some sort of, patriotic duty.
Thanksgiving Day, we are going to take apart the complaint piece by piece, and we're also going to take you...
No. I'm the guy who will take apart the complaint piece by piece. You are the guy who will cradle its ridiculously shriveled balls everywhere.
Before the 2020 election, we're going to go through all the propaganda and we're going to silo it out and discredit it and go through a timeline. So thank you all for helping out. Let's help get our country back. God bless you all and have the best Thanksgiving ever.
Yeah.
Politicized. They should simply...
Dude. there is nothing in this that makes me look at this. And this is the whole site, right? Select your state. Let's see. All right, we'll go to California. Take this on. Build my email. No way. To Rob Bonta, DOJ.ca.gov. Bring the case to the Supreme Court to stop the stolen 2020 election. Dear General, our country cannot move forward with legitimate elections without first fixing the fraud in the November 2020 election. Our state interests and our legal votes must be protected. You can do that. Please bring this case to the Supreme Court to save our state and our country. Fuck off. Oh my gosh, 854 people in the chat. Don't forget to share it. By the way, we'll go back to these assholes in the Utah argument.
The truth.
This is back where we left them. They were saying that Fauci knew about gain-of-function research until the Obama pause. And then when Trump restarted it again, the funding went back to it again.
Early in the pandemic, if there aren't enough masks, then don't lie to the American people and say masks don't work. When what you really mean is, hey, we don't want you to wear masks. We need to save them for first responders. And that was the first
Yeah, that's not what he was saying.
lie. And then to lie about the origins, and then to lie about the funding, and it goes on and on. Why would you deify someone who admittedly lies to you about something?
No, first of all, nobody's fucking deifying anyone. If anybody has been deified in the last 5 fucking years, and certainly over the last year, it's this dipshit. Please explain to me how Republicans are not deifying this dickhead. People are listening to Fauci because he's been involved in infectious disease for decades. He was the point person on the expertise. And every time Birx was sent out to talk as the alternative to Fauci, she would sit there and nod as Trump suggested sticking a light bulb up your ass and pouring bleach in your fucking lungs.
And the other important point I'd like to make, and it's a sidebar, but it's I think critical of this, and that is the maliciousness of the Chinese Communist Party. We were watching Wuhan, and they shut that city down hard. You could not air travel from Wuhan to any other Chinese city. You couldn't take a train, a car. You couldn't literally not hike out of the city. They shut down every trail, every dirt road, with one exception, and that is you could fly internationally from Wuhan to Los Angeles to New York to Paris and to London and a number of other cities. And China essentially said, we know this is going to have enormous economic costs. We know it's going to have enormous human costs, and we're not going to suffer alone. We're going to make sure the rest of the world suffers with us, and then we're going to use it to...
Okay, so did they create it and release it, or just because it was a happy accident, because it fell out of the Wuhan lab, this is just an opportunistic infection, pardon the pun?
Economic advantage. And part of this effort is to hold China accountable as well for their maliciously seeding this virus around the rest of the world.
Well, I will tell you.
Maliciously seeding this virus around the world. Maliciously seeding this virus. These Representative Chris Stewart from the state of Utah, a Republican, and Glenn Beck agree that the Chinese government intentionally released this disease upon the world in an attack on our economic strength and stability and on our nation as a whole, intentionally killing our citizens. This is the opinion of a Republican senator from Utah and Glenn Beck and everyone on Glenn Beck's staff and everyone who works for Representative Chris Stewart of Utah, which also means that this guy was president during the worst and most directed bioweapon attack in American history, and his response was to ignore it for months, sign a trade deal with the people that these two assholes say sent it here, one that they only honored a third of, and continue to talk about the president, the chairman of that country, as if he was a powerful leader and he was on top of it. He's very professional. He was handling it very professionally. So this guy was president during what these guys say was an intentional, malicious seeding of a virus. Intentional, malicious seeding of a virus throughout the world. China attacked the world with a bioweapon, including the United States. And this asshole decided in July of that year to sell China the largest order of pork, beef, soybeans, and corn in our nation's history, while Americans were in food lines. Do you see the intrinsic flaw of seeing this guy as some kind of a leader during any of this shit? Anybody see the contradiction between these guys? Because both of these assholes are Trump supporters. Both of these assholes voted for Trump again last fall. They voted for this guy. Even though, according to them, how China maliciously released COVID throughout the world. Released it throughout the world. They did this on purpose. And Trump made a deal with the Chinese during this time. Greased the wheels, kissed their ass, called their leader intelligent, strong, professional in the handling of it. They don't see how what they're saying, if you take them seriously, if you say this is what they really believe, that literally Donald Trump is the worst president in our nation's history and stood by on during the greatest bioweapon attack on our country in our country's history and shrugged it off and literally downplayed the attack as it happened, because that's what they're saying it is. It's an attack.
In 2018, Peter Daszak from EcoHealth, Dr. Xi.
Sorry, Peter, it's Peter Balsack, for the record. High Plains Drifter, thank you. The GOP want to make the jerk Speaker of the House. Please let that happen. Like, the work he would actually have to do.
Dr. Barrick from the United States all sent a proposal to DARPA, and they proposed making humanized mice, taking coronaviruses from bat poop, and trying to get it into a humanized mouse lung to see if it would kill and then make a vaccine. DARPA said no. DARPA said no, not going to fund it. But they all... That's
weird, because Trump actually... if you'll recall, quick reminder, just as a reset.
The Obama administration did hit pause on gain-of-function research, though, and that was lifted under your watch. Why did you allow the gain-of-function research to continue?
Well, I think...
That's, by the way, 2018. 2018 is the year he's talking about. That's what that's the time period Glenn Beck and Representative Chris Stewart from the lovely state of Utah are talking about.
People,
just for the record,
already had funding. And if you look at something that was published in 2020 by Wuhan, it's that experiment. And that experiment was done in Wuhan by these people in the summer of 2019. Then in September, you have the Wuhan data bank being shut down. On September 12th, you have security called in, and they beef up security and lock the place down. The next...
That's weird. Why would they have to beef up security? Oh, because they had lacked security at that time because Trump had cut off the funding, which at that point was only going to security.
They call out for bids and for an emergency air handling system. They need to change out all the air handling. Then 2 weeks after that, They order an air incinerator, and then you have 3 researchers in one hospital. We have all the Chinese documents in Chinese and translated. You have 3 people that were working in that lab going for COVID-like symptoms in one hospital, and in
Hey, fucko, I know. He's about to say in October of 2019.
October, we have the records of 10 different hospitals in Wuhan, and all of them, 10 hospitals, had COVID-like symptoms, and they were treating people who were dying of COVID in October. And the same time, they do nothing. China allows the games, the world.
Yes, the World Military Games. That's right. And there's a theory that they spread it in the military games. And again, tell me, who the fuck was president when this happened? Who was in charge of the whole goddamn country at that point? Glenn? Who was it? Was it the guy and his vice president, who's now president, who created the pandemic relief, pandemic response team? Or was it the guy that dismantled it just because the last guy made it? Who was in charge? Was it the guy who put a pause on gain-of-function research, or the guy who restarted it? Glenn, who was president in 2018 and 2019? You dizzy fuck.
War games to go on in Wuhan, and they were checking the temperature of everyone who got off and on a plane in October.
Yeah.
Chris.
Well, Glenn, the research you've done on this is just a beautiful thing.
No, it isn't. Because you've missed one major detail. And that's that Biden wasn't president when this happened. And Trump admitted to downplaying the entire thing for months, helping it build steam and kill more people. And everything he claims that he did, that, oh my God, we saved so many lives, was in the pandemic response team's manual that they left behind for him when he dismantled that organization, and in the Democratic bills that were put forward, money to pre-buy all of the vaccines that we would need. All that stuff. Everybody that was on board for that plan. There was not a single person in the CDC or the NIH that was going, I don't know, we shouldn't give money out to these vaccine companies before they have them. We should wait. Nobody fucking said that.
Thank you for doing it. I mean, you've said things that I don't know anyone else in the country has said, and it wasn't easy for you to.
Well, granted, I mean, it is a good sign that Glenn is the dumbest motherfucker in the entire country. Sorry, Dan Bongino, you've had the crown knocked off your head.
This information. Thank you for doing it. The Fouchy Act will help you and others, as it does require greater transparency, but more importantly, it forbids us from ever doing anything like this again.
But Chris,
what you have, Glenn.
Hey, you know what forbids us from ever doing anything like this again? Always having Democratic presidents.
We have to, first of all, I don't know. Can you get this through with the Democrats in charge?
Well, it turns out that's a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I figured.
Is it a bit of a challenge? Thank you, High Plains Drifter. Blames the plague of 1300 on Biden's ancestors. Right. Let's see. U.S. gain of function research. Biden. Let's see. August 31st. Let's see. Eco Health Alliance. Oh, see, I thought they were protecting people. There you go. Oops, 1 second. This is from CNBC. The director of National Institutes of Health said Monday it appears that COVID-19 originated from an animal, but he didn't rule out the possibility that scientists at the Wuhan Institute of Virology were secretly studying it and that it could have leaked out from there. Again, this is the difference between it was created by people and it was allowed to escape by people. It's still unknown if the virus leaked out of the Wuhan lab, NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins said Monday in an interview with CNBC's Squawk Box, adding that the World Health Organization's investigation into the origin of the coronavirus has gone backwards. The vast evidence from other perspectives says no, this was a naturally occurring virus, not to say that it could not have been under study secretly at the Wuhan Institute of Virology and got out of there. We don't know about that. But the virus itself does not have the earmarks of having been created intentionally by human work. That's the difference. And so the statements that it was created by China as a bioweapon and intentionally released because it's a modified and fabricated virus, people being shut down for saying that shit, which was unproven, incendiary, and dangerous, compared to it may have been naturally occurring but got out of a lab with sketchy security measures, which had been defunded by the Trump administration on purpose previous to this happening. If anybody gives a shit, the difference between saying that they made it in the lab and it escaped from the lab are two totally different fucking things. Even if it mutated in the lab from a natural course. So, yeah. I think, and this is a WHO investigation has been made harder by China's refusal to participate, says Collins. I think China basically refused to consider another WHO investigation and just said, nope, not interested. Wouldn't it be good if we had actually opened up their lab books and let us know what they were actually doing there and find out more about the cases of people who got sick in November of 2019? About which we really don't know enough. U.S. intelligence reports first report of the Wall Street Journal indicated that in November 2019, 3 workers at the Wuhan Institute of Virology fell ill with symptoms similar to those seen in COVID-19 infections. A report that China said was completely untrue, which means it's true. And by the way, China didn't say that. The government of China said that. About 3 months ago, President Joe Biden initiated an investigation of his own and gave his intelligence community 90 days to further investigate the virus's origins and report the findings. The deadline is Tuesday. This was a while back. This is what this is from. Biden orders closer review of COVID origins as U.S. intel weighs Wuhan lab leak theory. President Biden has ordered a closer intelligence review of what he said were 2 equally plausible scenarios of the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Biden revealed that earlier this year he asked the intelligence community to assess whether it emerged from human contact with an infected animal or from a laboratory accident. The hypothesis that the virus may have escaped from a Chinese lab has gained more mainstream traction. Just like lazy.
Figure.
And I don't really understand that, Glenn. I mean, why in the world would the Democrats not say, hey, China was malicious?
Hey, why would they? They were malicious. They were malicious. Why wouldn't they say that China was malicious? Why wouldn't they say that China released a bioweapon and attacked us? Because it would be a fucking act of war. And if they did that, and the Congress of the United States certified that in writing, that this was an intentional attack, especially without fully knowing, even as suspicious as the whole goddamn thing is, it's a declaration of fucking war. How could it not be? Why don't they just say it? Why don't they just pass what I wrote? You know? Just cause. Fucking hell.
We should hold them accountable. And if any U.S. persons or U.S. organizations...
Hey, asshole, the only way to hold them accountable in that scenario is war. They killed more Americans on American soil than at any other time since the Civil War.
Nations were complicit in it. We should hold.
Yeah, they should pay us some money for the dead Americans, because that's a fair response to a bioweapon, and that'll keep them from sending the next one. Good
capital.
God.
Why is that a partisan issue to take?
Because of what is, we all know is the deep state. Fauci is part of that. He does what he wants.
Derp. It's the derp state. It's the derp state.
To do, no matter what the law is, no matter what the president says, he just goes around it. We have to root out.
Hey, asshat. None of that happened during the break that Obama ordered. It happened after Trump changed the orders. Everything he's talking about happened after I mean, like, how many fucking times do we have to watch this goddamn thing? And Trump does not refute this at all.
To a Chinese lab. So just that on its face didn't make sense, but I stopped that.
The Obama administration did hit pause on gain-of-function research, though, and that was lifted under your watch. Why did you allow the gain-of-function research to continue?
Well, I think probably people that worked for me looked at it, and at one point they might have done that, but ultimately what we did was we shut it off. We shut the whole thing off, and we stopped.
And no, he didn't. He stopped the security funds. See, you don't have to pay for the gain of function stuff to allow it to go forward with our people working on it, with them or whatever. That doesn't cost extra money. You just let them do what they're going to do. They've got funding for that in China. What you do pay for is the security so it doesn't get out.
Payments that were approved much earlier than our administration.
Yeah, payments for security at the Wuhan lab, which he canceled. And by the way, Glenn Beck knows this. I don't know if Chris Stewart does. This is my first time with stewart.house.gov.
All of these actors who just do whatever they want, no matter what you guys say.
Well, and what it comes down to as well is, does anyone think that this administration is serious about holding China accountable? Does anyone think this or that China?
Yes, I do. Because this is not the administration that bullshitted on behalf of Xi Jinping during the beginning of the pandemic, played it down so they could get a trade deal passed, ignored it, kept trying to jumpstart the economy in the middle of shit while Americans were dying, and then sold a bunch of fucking food to China in the middle of it. What are you talking about? All right, god damn it. May I? New window. Let's see. I'm going to grab a couple of things. Give me 1 second. Let's see. And let's see. Let's see. Let's see. It says here. There you go. All right. Let's start with this. Does anybody expect this White House to hold China accountable? Oh, I forgot one more. Hold on one second. There's one more. Okay. AUKUS, U.S. Australia, U.S. UK signed deal in nuclear submarine alliance, pissing off China. Again, one of the things that Trump could have done at any time, but did not do. Do you think there's something that changed in the last 4 years besides, COVID attitudes that would have changed our situation in terms of giving Australia our nuclear technology, so we build the subs with them? Anything? Nope. So Trump could have formed an AUKUS-like agreement, right? But he just didn't, because it would have upset Xi Jinping. Yeah, pissed off France too, although they're fine. We ended up buying them off, I think. That's my guess. We're buying something from France for like $40 billion. Here you go. Destroyer makes its 7th U.S. Navy Taiwan Strait transit in 2021. 7 times already this year, and this was July, so they've been continuing to do it. That our ships are passing between Taiwan and China. They're doing laps around the fucking island. They're doing laps around the country. We are also partnering with UK ships and Japanese ships who are in the same waters. Biden was right to reaffirm U.S. support for Taiwan in this. Go away. With the Biden administration's China policy under wraps for months, no one quite knew what to expect from U.S. Trade Representative Katherine Tai's speech at the Center for Strategic and International Studies leading up to Monday's event. It sounded like she would use this opportunity to put China on notice. Last week, Tai told Politico that the Biden administration plans to build on existing tariffs on billions of dollars in Chinese imports and confront Beijing for failing to fulfill its obligations under a Trump-brokered trade agreement. Yeah. Failing to fulfill its obligations under a Trump-brokered trade agreement. Art of the deal. However, the speech took a much more moderate tone, while Tai called for holding China accountable, and they work for durable coexistence. After a months-long review of China policy, the Biden administration determined that the China Phase 1 deal signed by the Trump administration did not meaningfully address the fundamental concerns we have with Chinese trade practices and their harmful impacts on the U.S. economy. According to Tai, the agreement failed to push for fundamental changes in Beijing's state support for certain sectors of the economy, such as its steel, solar, and semiconductor industries. Biden's emerging China trade policy includes several positive steps. For starters, Tai announced she will reinstate the exclusion process for products subject to the Section 301 tariffs on imports from China. Tariffs of up to 25% remain on roughly 2/3 of U.S. imports from China. Earlier this year, the Biden administration stopped processing exclusion requests for non-medical products. Which means that the stuff that got by that because of COVID. And even before the speech, Tai had already made strides to lessen trade tensions with U.S. allies, primarily the UK and the EU. Earlier this year, the administration signed an agreement to defer additional retaliatory measures in the decades-long dispute over aircraft subsidies with those countries. Remember that deal that we talked about this earlier this year? This problem that's been going on for years. About basically European countries subsidizing their airplane companies and making it hard for Boeing and and Lockheed Martin and all the American companies to compete because the states were funding them basically, so they were artificially propping them up so you could keep their profits high. The United States and the EU agreed to suspend tariffs from the Boeing Airbus trade dispute for an additional 5 years. The tariffs were initially suspended by a 4-month period, March 2021 to July 2021. U.S. and EU have agreed to suspend tariffs for the Boeing Airbus trade dispute for 4 months. And then they did it again. The tariffs, which were effective October 29th to February 2021, have covered $12 billion of traded goods and cost the United States $1.6 billion. The 4-month suspension of these tariffs could possibly, and possible future repeal, will increase economic cooperation between the United States and the EU, which could help counter the economic influence of China. Other major trade tensions remain between the U.S. and EU that could offset the added benefits from the repeal of these tariffs. They're working through that shit too. Largely, there's a back and forth about effectively the supply chain aspects of some of this stuff right now. It's hard to break down. But just for the record, AUKUS, Trump could have done that, just didn't. Trump could have done this, just didn't. Trump could have done this, didn't. Trump could have done this, didn't. He couldn't have done anything. And then, of course, the Quad. 5 things to know about Biden's Quad summit with leaders of India, Australia, and Japan. The U.S. This is the Quad. And it's about this, basically an alliance in the Indo-Pacific region. When President Biden hosts the leaders of Japan, Australia, and India at the White House on Friday, it will be part of a push, analysts say, to reorient U.S. foreign policy away from long wars and traditional alliances in Europe, and instead focus on countering a fast-rising foe, China. Does anybody believe that this administration, blah, 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 fuckity, blah, just douchebags?
As President Xi is intimidated or fearful of this president.
No.
And there's a reason.
No, of course, no. Why would he be intimidated by Australian U.S. Nuclear-powered submarines in the area for the first fucking time? Why would he be intimidated by the fact that why would she be intimidated after this UAE secret Chinese base U.S. Biden blah blah blah? Okay. Why would that happen? U.S. succeeds in halting construction of secret Chinese port project in UAE. Why would Xi Jinping fear a man who got his secret military base he was building in the port of Khalif discovered and stopped? Now, do you think, Glenn was just over there pretending to be in Afghanistan while hanging out in a 4-star hotel or a 7-star hotel or whatever the fuck in the UAE or in Qatar or some shit? You think he might have known about this? Do you think they started building this fucking thing January 20th or November 4th of last year? No. They've been at it for 2 years. So either Trump told the IC to stand down looking for this kind of shit, or it was falling on deaf ears when they were bringing this information to the White House and he didn't want to fucking hear it because he was trying to make his trade deal happen. So he didn't want to piss off China. And meanwhile, Biden rolls in and shuts the fucking thing down. I don't even know if people fucking grasp how definitive, quick, and extraordinary this is. Yeah, MJ Daniel, it is a good thing. So fuck Glenn Beck and this dipshit from Utah and their anti-American talking points. I swear to God, these assholes are going to make me do this show in a fucking Captain America outfit every goddamn day.
And why he's not. And I think that's a partial explanation as well as to why our Democratic colleagues in the House are not going to be helpful on this.
Chris,
the good news.
No, they're not going to be helpful on this because the text of that document would be a declaration of war. And everything about it could just be a policy shift. And if you wanted to write a single bill that says the United States does not fund gain-of-function research in foreign labs, we can do it here at our military labs because we trust our safety protocols, but we're never given a dime to any, third world or developing country who's trying this shit ever again. It would pass in an afternoon.
We're going to take the House and Senate in 2 years.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, in a year. We're going to, and then we will do this work that they won't allow us to do right now.
Chris, you are so good on.
And by the way, no, he's fucking well not. If the Republicans take the House next year, none of what he's talking about, this Fouchy Act shit, is going to pass. It'll die. If anything, they'll scoop everything out of it that is protective.
Foreign Affairs. President Xi and President Biden had a 3-hour meeting. The reports from China says that President Xi said,
which is, by the way, just the fucking fact that this son of a bitch is going to take the CCP's word on how that meeting went. I mean, this is no different from the same smoke they blew up Putin's ass. Putin thought Trump was amazing until he thought Biden was a healthy guy and very sharp, and they're like, Putin's losing it. The fact that you would take fucking China's word about any of this shit, do you think that Glenn is going to follow it up with a question about, do we believe the death figures from COVID in China? Oh, how this tip is for your hilarious Appalachian cousin comedy bit last night. Had me bellyache laughing. I'm so glad, Melinda. Thank you so much for the super chat.
you're messing with fire with Taiwan and you will get burned.
Yeah, it's called Wolf Warrior diplomacy. They're full of shit. Fuck off. Who cares? Of course they're going to talk like that. And why would you foment an idea that, man, if they say, oh, shit, man. Oh, they said what? Oh, shit. Unbelievable.
The news reports from China say that...
I'm sorry, where were they from, Glenn?
Biden just wanted to talk about global warming, and he said he won't mess with Taiwan. And
is that what he said? He won't mess with Taiwan? Is that what he said? Is that what the Chinese reports are saying? Tell you what, Glenn, read off any Chinese report about, I don't know, a flood that wipes out an entire town. And then tell me that when they say 6 fucking people died, you believe it.
China, I don't know if I believe that, but I don't know what to believe anymore. Have you?
Well, it's interesting to me, Glenn, since you don't know what to believe, your dummy default is to believe the Chinese media. That's fucking amazing to me. Think about that for a second. Just grasp that shit. Glenn Beck would rather believe the country that is currently operating Uyghur concentration camps, that has solved poverty by deciding that if you make more than $400 a year, if you make you're in poverty if you make $400 a year. You know how much you have to make to not be in poverty? $401. If you make more than $400 by $1, you have beat poverty in China. You are no longer impoverished. That's who Glenn Beck wants you to believe over the U.S. media, which with whatever like incendiary slant you think they might have, the vast majority of the actual details are there, and certainly the freedom to talk out of your ass is there.
Heard anything on this?
Well, I think our readout is different than theirs. There's no question about it.
Okay,
and that's
good.
why.
Oh, different? Is it different? How's it different? How's it different? It's just, it's not that theirs is a fucking lie. And, you know. 你们知道我会喜欢中文. I really like China as a culture, I like the people, but the government is fucked. And anybody pretending otherwise, and it's getting worse. This is like somebody who liked, fucking going from Austria to Germany, in 1909 and started going, what the fuck is happening?
put their readout first. But I will say this too: I don't believe for a second this is a 3.5-hour meeting unless it included nap time.
Yeah, that's not a CCP talking point either. Fuck you.
This president, I just don't think anyone engages for that amount of time. But
that's just because you can't and Glenn can't. I mean, that's just fucking gross. Think about what they're talking about. The 3-hour Zoom call that Biden had with Xi Jinping, and the big joke is that they had to take a break for a nap, and that's the good God. Yeah, it's definitely ageism, but it's increasingly pathetic.
If you don't think those conversations took place, take a look at the conversations that took place up in Alaska, where the Chinese embassies or ambassadors came and just berated our Secretary of State and others in a very public way, in a way that we'd never seen before, and then asked.
Let's see. This is what he's talking about, by the way. China berates U.S. in Alaska showdown. This is from Foreign Policy. No thanks. Yang Jieqi's statements, though pointed, are better viewed through a domestic lens, meaning that they are posturing for the people at home. An explosive start to U.S.-China talks. Discussions between top U.S. and Chinese officials are set to continue this morning in Anchorage, Alaska, after a day of talks that was marked by an unapologetic opening diatribe from a senior Chinese official. The meeting began with an opening statement by U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, laying out U.S. concerns with Chinese actions over Xinjiang, Hong Kong, Taiwan, as well as recent cyber attacks. Each of these actions threaten the rules-based order that maintains global stability, Blinken said. Yang Jieqi, a ranking diplomat and former Chinese ambassador to the United States, then excoriated the United States in a 15-minute speech during which he charged the United States with hypocrisy on human rights and its treatment of minorities, criticized U.S. foreign interventions, and accused U.S. officials of, quote, possessing a Cold War mentality. And by the way, if you want, just like we've seen the Republicans are the only people on American television telling everyone that that our border is open, that we have an open border. If you're going to hear the border is open, you're going to hear it from Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Don Jr., all that shit. You're never going to hear it from a Democrat because it's not true. But the Republicans are going to tell everybody in the whole fucking world that our border is open. So when people arrive thinking the border is open, they didn't hear it from the president or the administration or even the Congress or the Senate. They heard it from Republicans on television. Secondly, fuck this guy. Who cares? They're trying to save face. The United States does not represent the international public opinion, neither does the Western world, Yang said. Minister Yang Yi then followed Yang's remarks, offering a more conciliatory tone, recognizing Blinken and Sullivan as true friends of the Chinese people, while questioning the timing of a U.S. decision to sanction Chinese officials over Hong Kong on the eve of the meeting. Yeah, that's why he's yelling. And he can yell all the fuck he wants. That's why. Do you think Glenn Beck's going to point out why this dude was yelling and why we don't give a fuck? It's because that asshole and many people in the high levels of the Chinese Communist Party are recognizing that economically the writing is on the wall in their country, and they are trying to shuffle money out of the country before the whole thing comes crumbling down. And they're buying real estate in the United States and in Canada and in European countries, and if they get sanctioned, they can't do it. And the house is on fire. They're shoveling money out the fucking windows, and we're slamming the windows shut. That's why he's pissed. And that guy, this Yang Jieqi, it's personal for that motherfucker. He's had a lot of back and forth with the United States over the years. He was an ambassador to the United States initially. That was his window to get his money out of China. He had an excuse to get out of the country, take shit with him, and make or coordinate plans to get his wealth out of China before the whole thing burns down. And now he can't. Of course he's fucking pissed. And of course, he can yell all he wants to. We don't give a shit. And the fact that our guys didn't give a shit is exactly why the second guy who spoke went, well, we know you guys are the good guys. We just blah, blah, blah. It's just, and listen to these fucking ass. I'm sorry. Like, this is as nationalistic and patriotic as I can possibly get, because it fucking aggravates me how these guys cannot stop shitting on the country and lying on behalf of the Chinese government. That's what Glenn Beck and this asshole are doing right now. This is a fucking lie. He knows it. Glenn knows it. Shitting on our own president in the middle of this stuff. And I had harsh words about Trump during his time in an office, and I didn't pull any punches. But I didn't go, well, at least Putin's a leader. Right? I wasn't inflating anybody else who was intrinsically worse on a worldwide scale that was, potentially attacking us. Trump kissed Xi's ass more than I did during that time. And I was in that fucking country for 2 years. God damn it.
Do you not think the same thing happened in this conversation? Because once again...
No, it fucking well didn't. Because it didn't happen in the first one, you lying piece of shit.
President Xi is not intimidated by this administration.
No, he's definitely intimidated by this administration. He's also surrounded by Confederates, and his country is taking a giant shit right now. Do we have to dip into this stuff every goddamn time? Do they even bother? Do they even try? You think Xi Jinping is grinding his teeth over Joe Biden right now? China may have to juice its economy soon as stagflation risk rises. Yeah, we don't have stagflation. They do. China's central bank signals easing as economic risks mount. China sets stage for easing monetary policy as central bank deletes language from new... Jesus Christ. Deletes language from new report. The People's Bank of China deleted several phrases in its latest monetary policy report, a move that economists say signals a shift towards easier policy. The phrases had signaled a level of restraint in central bank policy despite signs of a growing slowdown in the economy. They're abandoning Xi Jinping's economic strategy. They are bailing on it right now.
Chris, thank you for everything you guys are doing. Thank you for being one of the people that you're actually standing up for the regular person. I'd like to send you...
He's not... No, by the way, it's nice to know that Glenn Beck thinks Xi Jinping is a regular person.
This research so you have it, because I think that will help you on the floor of the House with the Fouchy Act. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hey, send him a copy of this shit. Glenn, while you're at it, send him the part where Trump turned on gain-of-function research again after he was in office. Do you have that in there? And that the 2 years of shit you're talking about happened after that happened? God damn. Did they just think, well, just nobody fucking checks? Nobody checks. Is that what we're doing? Is that what it is?
Thank you, Glenn. I'll look forward to that.
You got it. Congressman Chris Stewart, and please call your congressman and tell them you want passage of the Fouchy Act, which will hold people.
How about this? How about I call this asshole? I call Chris Stewart out on his lying on behalf of the Chinese government. How about that? I hope we'll more than likely we will clip this piece. The two CSL, you can take the part where I diverged into the Lindell stuff and slap these chunks together maybe in one piece. But I intend on at some point passing this on to Glenn Beck. And if Glenn, you've made it all the way to this point, fuck you, buddy. The idea that you would talk shit about this country like that when you know the difference, when you know you are lying, is friggin' grotesque. And it's almost worse if you just can't be bothered to look. Ugh. Just friggin' gross. All right. Is this the War Room Live? Or did Mike come back on the whole... I gotta reload this page. Is that what happens?
Hey.
Okay. Hey. And that's the opening part of it. And then...
Change. Hey, America. Now there's a place...
I thought did it already air? 14th, that's the live. Did that just happen? When's it? Oh, that's August 10th. I just want to see if Mike Lindell made a revisit to this. That's the ad. The Ascendant, right? All right. Let's see what their
virus is now killed.
Hold on. All right, this is the thing. By the way, this is Rashida Tlaib. Jonathan Swan asks her on the Axios show on HBO about abolished prisons. Her response is pitiful. It's moronic and unfortunate, and they need to just fucking not. And then, of course, this skeevy bitch, dude. And then where's Lindell? Does he come back on? No? What graphic are they showing for this thing? Public poll. Okay, so polling, yeah. Where's 5 o'clock? Where was Mike Lindell? Well, I thought they were going to bring him back on. Where is he? That's got to be. Come on. Senator, maybe it was this one? Was this the one we were watching?
Well, the virus has now killed more than 100.
Shut up. I know this is... Oh, yeah. Here you go. Is that when that's the first one we watched, isn't it?
Here's the thing, is that, and you're going to lay out the complaint itself on Thursday, so people...
Yeah, it's the same shit. So, and I guess he didn't come back on at 5 o'clock? No? Nope. Guess not. Oh, well. Womp womp. Thanks, the Spaceman. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. And I know that I get wound up about some of these things because I'm increasingly distressed as a human being about the state of the Chinese government, because I have friends over there that I can no longer reach because their phone numbers have just disappeared. And my heart breaks for what's probably happened to them. And this is a country where they just get rid of people. Thanks, Deirdre. And it's heartbreaking. And the fact that, like, Lindell and Bannon and Glenn Beck and all these assholes just throw themselves in front of the bus to puff China up like this is gross. In the same way they did it with Russia. It's like, fucking hell. And the other thing is, like, they certainly don't give a shit about the people of China. The human beings who are going through this. So the idea that they would use people they don't give a shit about and a government that they seem enamored by to shit on our own country is it's just disturbing. It's just gross. And I don't know why the right is okay with it. Like, why some of them don't just go, look, tap the fucking brakes. Well, you know, it's like they have more in common with fucking Richard Wolff and his bullshit. You cannot say that the Chinese haven't done more to alleviate poverty. Fuck off. They did it by opening their markets like the rest of the world and behaving like a capitalist system. And then they got rid of their, their homeless problem by sweeping the fucking people up and getting rid of them. I mean, the fact that Wolf gets on Tom Hartman's show and just gives China and Russia and these countries a fucking pass on slave labor it's grotesque. And there's no effective moral difference between him and Glenn Beck in this shit. It's horseshoe theory at its fucking worst. And it's, I'm sorry I'm leaving on an aggravating note. I love you guys. I've still got a window of happiness. Fear not. It's just this part, winds me up because I love this country. Unabashedly, warts and all. That's how America is for me. And I've done enough traveling in countries where we do not have, they do not have the rights and freedoms and the abilities and the comforts that we have. And the people that piss it away or shrug it off as if it's not really that good. Fuck you. If you asked them what was going on in Kenya or Ethiopia right now, they wouldn't fucking know. If you asked them what the free speech rules are in England, they couldn't tell you. They'd assume they were the same. And and they just fucking aren't. Yeah, Chip will do it. That's right. I think that'd be a good idea. Should I go try to find Chip and cheer everybody up? Yeah? Should I do that? Hold on one second. I've got to put let's see. Well, I'm going to be like this guy. There we go. Hold on. And then I got to put on some music and I'll be right back and I will go get him. Let's see. Here you go. I'll be right back. And it's Chipper. He was sleeping on the floor. It's a Chipper. It's a Chipper. It's a Chipper. Hi, buddy. He was completely out. He was just laying on. Sorry, he's just laying on the carpet upstairs, just like, I don't. Are we done for the day? Hi, buddy. Yeah. He's a good boy. Oh, is it sleepy? That's a big yawn. There he is. There he is. Yeah. Look at this guy. That's right. So, I may not be doing a radio show on Saturday because of CPT, but I will do a live stream at the same time. So, just a heads up. If I am doing a radio show, I will do the radio show and the live stream. If I don't do the radio show, I will just do the live stream on Saturday for sure. And like I said, I might pop in for some lives and check in with you guys. But my emotional support animal. No, I'm his emotional support animal. Yeah. Yeah. Aw, for a chip cam. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for the support, by the way. It's been really lovely lately. I appreciate you guys subscribing on Twitch. That's helped get our numbers up. We're always ice skating uphill to get 1,000 subscribers on there. If you want, and it costs, something to subscribe on there, but you can, if you have Amazon Prime, it doesn't cost you anything. And then, of course, if you want to subscribe on YouTube, that's just a click. So I don't know why you haven't done that. I don't know why everybody hasn't done that. I mean, come on now. Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. Yes, you are a big boy. You're a wonderful boy. Yes, you are. Hi, buddy. Yeah, you just sleep. It's okay. He's watching the chat go by. That's what he's like. What's when you guys do emojis instead of letters? It's he sees them. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, hi, buddy. Yeah, just sleeping. Just a sleepy boy. He's just laying there. I'm your support person. I'm glad I can be. But you're not. All right. I want to be a man to get a dog. I will get a dog at one point. After these guys age out and leave the mortal plane. Or I can afford a second house where I spend a lot of time. That I trust the people who hang out there the most of the time. That I'll definitely do that. Because I need a big dog. Yeah. Don't get nervous. You're okay. Buddy. Oh, yeah, honey. He's a good boy. Yeah, you are. Oh, he's a good one. Yeah. He's just sleeping. He's just tired. So happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I'll see you in a few days. Thank you for joining me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It feels weird to go on vacation at all. But I shall return. And I'll post some videos over the next couple of days as well. So if you could like and watch those and that kind of stuff, that would be fantastic. Yeah, hi. Yeah. Now I got to go pack because I got a plane to catch. That's right. I got to go. I got to go. I do. I got to go. Oh, you have stinky kitty breath. Oh, sleepy. Oh, he's got kitten breath. Yeah, that's okay. He's just. Oh, he's so cute. Yeah. Just want to burrow. What are you doing? Are you sleepy? Yeah. All right. Peace. I will see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye. Say bye, Chip. Bye, Chipple. Here, say bye. Look, there they are. See you later, guys. Bye.